These are both of the kits I'm going to be using. This one is a rental from O'Reilly. You put a deposit down, you get the money back. This is mine, I bought it from Harbor Freight. This one's going to be more of a, you're going to follow me as I go because I am kind of in a rush. So this is a 12 millimeter right here. This holds the brake line and the ABS. You want to get both of them out of the way. Make sure the cap of the master cylinder is off. So this car is a bit of a death trap. Damn, those calipers are frozen. Those guide pins are frozen. This is a 17 millimeter. These are for the bracket bolts. You don't need to remove the pads or the caliper itself. If you just remove the two bolts behind it. And you want to mount it up. There are no brake pads left on that thing. Grab yourself a 30 millimeter 12 point. Make sure it's a 12 point. Don't use a 6 point. It won't work. Believe me, I've tried. That was a bad day at the junkyard. Get one of these Ugga Duggas and Ugga Dugga it off. Grab a 10 millimeter socket, extension, and small Ugga Dugga. Get the ABS sensor off. Take it out of the way. Let's get this tie rod end off. There's a cotter pin on it. You gotta grab it with some dikes, fold it over, and then pull it off. Hope you can see that. Where am I putting all the bolts up? Right here. Let's hope they don't get lost. What I do usually is I put the bolts back where they used to be. That way I don't lose them later. And you're gonna need a hammer. Let me go get a hammer. Alright, I don't know where my hammer went. This is my backup one. This is all. But it'll work just fine. Sway bar is a 17. So 22 on both sides. Make sure the side that you're going to take off is the nut side, not the bolt side. Grab an Ugga Dugga. Do the bottom bolt. Want to swiggle the spindle back and forth like this. Axle to come out. Gotta get this ring off the back side. I mean, it's already dirty, but it's gonna be super greasy now. Make sure that goes to that lines up here later. We're gonna try these first. I should probably see if I can hammer it first. The reason why you want to hammer it first is to break it loose. Won't be able to get it out this way, but it beats bending the snap ring pliers. And look at that. It is broken loose. It flies into your hand. Grab it from here and here. Alright, we're gonna pull the hub out of this thing before we do anything. All we want to do is pull this centerpiece out right here. This is gonna fit right over it like that. That should push it out. Piston W bolt's gonna go straight through the hub with the hub puller on the outside. This is the hub remover with horseshoe adapter E. I'm gonna put this nut back here. And this is a nut that's gonna push on the hub itself from the back, and it's gonna push it forward. And this hub remover bracket thing is gonna push on the spindle. The nut on the back is a 27 millimeter, but at a certain point, I think my socket isn't gonna be long enough, so I'll have to hold it with some pliers. So that's the front race. This is the hub itself, and this nut pushed it from right there.
2 hours later.
It came out after fucking around with it for a while. This is the setup that worked. Spacer ring U, the support plate H, and step washer L. This is all from the O'Reilly rental. This is what worked. The Maddox did not have a cup that fit the backside of that spindle, and that's what you run into. That's the biggest problem. That's why I have 2 kits, because I've been through the unspeakable. Anyway, you know, it might be different for you, but what you want to make sure is that you don't bind anything up on the way out or the way in, because if you do that, then you're gonna have to either replace the spindle, or you'll have to take it to somewhere they have a press, usually a shop, and you don't want to do that because we're doing this to avoid go to shops. Next thing you want to do is clean the inside right here where the snap ring goes. You want to clean it good, because when you pull the bearing out, it pulls out a bunch of gunk. So this is the Maddox kit now. This is number 2 with 002. Make sure when you put this on, you don't bind up the bearing. You have to make sure the bearing goes in flush. A lot of people just use the impact, but I would like to make sure that I'm not binding it down. And that's going in pretty smoothly. Let me show you. Alright, now that we know nothing's binding up and it's going in very nicely, now we're going to use the impact. Till I overdose, how to save once, how to save dose. Alright, so for this you want I'm using the Maddox 02 again. This is going to cover the entire wheel bearing. You want to support the wheel bearing all the way in the back when you install the hub and push it in from the front. If you don't, you're going to end up pushing everything out. So you really want to find something that's going to cover everything. This one should be fine. So this is set up Maddox 05 and Maddox 02. 02 is going in the back. And then Maddox, this is gonna face outside. This is gonna face towards the hub. Alright, after you feel like it's bottomed out, we're gonna take this off, take the whole setup off. We need to make sure that everything is good to go. When you're done, make sure you check it, spin it, take a look behind it. Everything should be good. Now let's install the snap ring. Snap rings could be pretty stupid installing sometimes. And if you notice, I'm using my needle nose pliers instead of my snap ring pliers because snap ring pliers do not open up enough. But that'll do the trick right there. Do not forget this. Whatever you do, do not forget it. And make sure you put it in the right way. So this one has a little lip on the bottom here. Right here. This one faces down. I should clean it. Good as new. Beautiful. Alright, now let's get this axle aligned up with the hub. It'll help if you spin the hub at the same time. I think that's good. Slid in. And you want to make sure the axle splines fit the hub. Don't forget the thread locker. Let's tighten these down. Next, we're going to grab our sway bar link, put it straight through here, just like that. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's next. Alright, it is spinning, so we're going to use some vice grips. We're going to hold the back side. We're just going to tighten it down just a tad. That is good. Next, we're going to reinstall this tie rod. Get that nut on there. This tie rod shouldn't spin. Hopefully it doesn't. Reinstall the cotter pin. Alright, let's put this ABS. This clip here just clips onto the strut itself. Has two little holes for these clips, just like that. We're gonna get this ready. That way when we put the caliper back on, everything's ready to go. What I like to do is put a wrench on here. Put the, what is this called, the box end or the circle end. And put a lug nut, just get it pretty tight. That way the rotor doesn't move when you're trying to install the caliper. Don't forget your thread locker on your brake caliper bolts. Ow! Don't forget to put these back. The ABS goes behind the brake caliper, then you put the bolt through. Alright, so the easiest way to do this next part is to put the jack underneath the knuckle, underneath the control arm, and lift. And you want to lift and get this knuckle up to ride height so that we can torque down the axle nut. Alright, now that we're at ride height, let's go ahead and get this axle nut tight. Because we have the other wheel off the ground, what I do is I grab a screwdriver, I put it through the brake caliper and the rotor, and you're going to torque this down to 217 foot-pounds. And let's drop the spindle all the way back down. At this point, my camera died and didn't get footage of me indenting the axle nut to secure it onto the axle. Here's an example on a different car, but still applies the same way. Alright, and that is it. And now we're going to put the tire back on and we're going to torque it down to 80 foot-pounds. Thanks for watching.